Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door or Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 37 of All the Mods 9. And today, we are actually going to be working towards something here. This beehive next to me, or bee nest, is something I actually want to try and make a large-scale version of. Honestly, mostly because I want to put our productive bees stuff in there. The one thing I'm running into is, of course, there's a lot of different shades of yellow. There's a lot of different shades of brown, kind of tannish, kind of some different colors. So we're probably going to simplify this a little bit. But I need to be able to actually get certain colors, right? So I've been working. I've been getting some dandelions. We've got about 1,000 in the system right now. So that's yellow dye, right? We throw a dandelion into a mechanical squeezer from in Integrated Dynamics. That gives us 4+ ish dye from that. So we've got yellow covered. I've got that set up. And I realized that we also need a few other things, because like yellow terracotta, I think, would give us another color, and that would be good. Problem is, of course, we don't have an automated source of clay. So that's what we're going to be working on today. And hopefully by Friday, we will have a somewhat simplified version of a bee nest to put all of our productive bee stuff that we've been working on for the last week. And that'll be fantastic. I genuinely have no idea. I kind of just decided, hey, I want to build something that resembles a Minecraft block. We could have done a beehive. We could have done an advanced beehive. But honestly, I love how these look, and I want to try and replicate this as much as we can, right? It may not be perfect, but it may be massive on the scale that I want to do. So I'm not 100% sure. I think we should be able to put bees inside of the actual mining dimension. We'll have to check this out, but I'm hoping we can do this. And if not, I will probably move all of it away, because copy and paste gadget's going to be our friend here in the long run anyway. So how do we go about automating clay? Well, there's several ways we could do this. We could do this with bees. We could do this with create. We could do this with Mekanism. And so I chose Mekanism, mostly because this is dealing with mud, and I think mud actually might be a little bit useful here, especially for that, maybe that bottom layer. But also mud is a newer block, and I just want to have it just because if we actually wanted to do something with it in the future that doesn't involve this, and that just involves building, we may look into it, and we may just enjoy using that block, because there's also packed mud blocks and stuff like that. So let's get into this. All right, and I've kind of got this set up over here as well. Clay. It's our base material that we want to get and be able to use anywhere else, right? We can convert it into terracotta by smelting it, and then of course we could drop it to clay balls if we need to do it that way. But this is our end result, okay? So to get clay, we're going to start with biofuel. And biofuel, if you don't remember, is just crushed plant matter. So in this case, we're going to be using carrots in a crusher to give us biofuel. That biofuel is going to then be put into a metallurgic infuser to then add with sand to give us dirt. That dirt is then going to be added to water vapor, not steam. I just didn't bookmark the right thing. Water vapor, which is from a rotary condensator. And then that plus dirt equals mud. And that is in a chemical injection chamber. That'll give us mud, and then mud into an enrichment chamber gives us clay. Of course, we're going to build this out here, and that'll be where we get a lot of our information from. So let's just get this going here. Let's also grab some pipes, because we're going to need those anyway. And we may switch it up in a little bit, but who knows. So, Insanium Farmland, Carrot, Ultra Hoppers. I didn't go with Creative because I think that's just overkill in this area. But we're going to put down 3 of these guys. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely fail at placing that guy, but that's okay. So, Insanium and Carrots should give us a pretty good result. I don't remember what these guys actually fully output, because I only remember the Creative. So, it looks like 6 times. Yeah, about 6 times. Okay. And then we're going to need to get the crushers. So we only have 3 crushers here because we only have 3 of the actual chest here. And we're going to need to pipe under. I mean, honestly, we could just do... Let's actually do this. Because I think we should be able to just pipe directly into the crusher. Right? Yeah, perfect. Yes, we'll have a little bit of buffer of what's actually in here, but I don't really care about the buffer too much. Not that much. So input, output. Let's just configure one here. So output of the front, and then auto sort, and of course power. We can just run a flux pipe down here, or a flux point, and then a energy pipes. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. Let's also quickly grab some stone here. Okay. And then also, once we get the bee nest and everything, we're going to set up a gene system that's better than what we did in the live streams last week. And I also do plan on doing some more live streams of all the mods 9, maybe a week or two every so often, of just kind of conquering a mod, basically. So, look forward to that. That'll be fun. Oh, I also need a flux point, don't I? At pipes. Or at flux. I don't know why I just typed at pipes there. Also, if you haven't realized by now, AE2 is a little broken. I updated the pack, and I thought about reverting it, but oh well. Basically, what's happening is there's no two-way sync. If I need to look up a crafting recipe for something, I have to look it up over here, basically. So, furnace, you know, if I needed to craft a furnace of some complicated matter, I would have to look it up over here unless I have the item in our actual AE2 system to craft more. It's a problem. I'm aware of it. I hope the people at All the Mods 9 are aware of it. I think they tried to make some tweaks and it broke it. Nothing I can do about it. I tried messing around with it and got no results from doing that. So we're going. We're still cruising. We'll work through it. It may just add a little bit of time to get some things done, but overall, things happen. It's fine. Okay, so that should be our biofuel. And then I think we probably want to put a buffer point here. So let's just do this. I don't know if this is the best idea. Because if we want to make this compact, right, the wall is here. And we basically want to have our line of machines right here. So I think what we actually want to do in this case is actually do drawers. Kind of facing so that'll work. I don't think it really matters. Let's just face them forward. And I know we need to set the mechanism machines to auto output, by the way. So just auto eject. Let's fix that on these other guys. And then what I'm thinking is we grab a pusher upgrade for the front of this, right? So push, which direction is that? East. So that'll push east, which will be right where the wall is. And we are going to then put our first piece of machinery down, which is the chemical injection chamber. No, it's not even on there. I don't know where it went. Let me grab my backpack. It's the enriching factory. No, it's not the enriching factory. It's the infusing factory. I think I just placed the order incorrectly there. Okay, so infusing factories. So then input back, right? No, this is actually input yellow. So this is extra. Yes, extra. Okay, and then we're going to need to be able to input the sand, which is what we need here. Probably on the bottom. So we could have sand generation, which I don't think we're going to do our own sand generation for this system. We're probably just going to get an AE2 wireless connector here real quick. Okay, so wireless connector, and then we're going to want to put, actually I think just an interface on top of this, right? So interface, and we're just going to want to get sand. So this is one of the things that I haven't really talked about with interfaces. Is you can actually request items using interfaces. That allows for you to basically grab however many you put. So you could put a set amount in here. So if I wanted to say, only have 32 in here. Looks like this is kind of deceiving a little bit, where it's like, oh, 1,000. Now you can only put up to 64. But if you wanted like 16, 32, whatever, and you had laser IO that was like, hey, this one has 16, this one has 16, this one has 16, that's all they can take, that would be a way to do it. So, interesting, okay? So let's grab some pipe upgrades so we can actually get round robin going there. So round robin. And then to power these, we're going to use modular routers. Similar to what we did in the ore system, we're just going to have it distribute power to all the machines in a row and have 7 different modular routers producing power into these. Just a simpler way to do it so we don't have to use a whole bunch of different sides for the stuff that we actually need to get done. So that should be good. So now input bottom and then output top. And we're going to do auto split or auto sort. And then that should be set up to get us going. And then the next thing we need to worry about here, I threw upgrades in there, is we need to get the pipes set up for these. And I think we'll do it this way. Because like this middle drawer has 3 to focus on while the other ones don't. So we'll just do it this way. Okay. So that way, everything can get nice and full without us really having to worry about anything. And I think that'll work just perfectly. Okay. So everything has got biofuel. Everything is filling up. Of course, nothing has power. That's fine. We'll work on it. Okay. So the next step is getting the dirt that is produced from here into a chemical injection chamber. So our next machine is going to be a chemical injection chamber, which is the injecting factory here. We're also going to need the rotary condensators, but we'll get there. If I could actually quickly click in a line, that would be nice, but I apparently cannot drag in a straight line here. Throw these back in here. There we go. So the injecting factories will go next. Perfect. And I think what we'll do is we're going to have to basically set these up behind somehow. Let's see. So I'm thinking we're trying to make this compact as well. And so I'm trying not to make this like absurdly too complicated. So sink, pipe, because we need fluid pipes. So we need a couple more fluid pipes. And then we should be good to place this here. And then our rotary condensators can be placed, well, hold on. Let's just get our rotary condensators placed down here real quick and get that cleared out a little bit. So rotary condensators. Just like so. They are rotated all in the wrong direction though, aren't they? Let's get them placed down in the same orientation, just so we can configure card them across. It's one of our concerns. Man, what is happening? I think I just need to place like on a solid side of this, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to toggle operation, because we're basically turning water, which will go here, into steam, or to water vapor, not steam, remember? And then we're going to do is clear all these sides. So fluid top, and then gases we're going to output into this with auto eject on. So here we're going to say gases are coming into the back, right? So input, and then items are coming from the bottom and going to be output to the top. So let's just make sure we have auto eject on here. So let's reconfigure. Okay. So then here we've got input, bottom, output, top, gases, back. And then we're going to make sure we have auto eject on, because I keep forgetting to make sure we have that on. And then we're going to need to make sure, so gases are being output to the left. So we did orient this machine a little weirdly, but that's okay. And then fluids are being input to the top. So then we're going to carry that configuration all the way over. And then we can put our sink here and our pipes here. Okay. Ooh, hold on. That was loud in my ears. Loud, loud, loud. Hopefully it wasn't too loud for you guys. We were just going to straight up muffle all of these different machines here real quick. Just outright, because I don't really ever care about the machine sounds that Mekanism makes. They could put muffle upgrades, but honestly, I just don't bother half the time. Okay, so we want to make sure round robin's enabled. And then our next point is getting the upgrades in here. So let me get that done real quick and I'll be right back. Also, quickly mentioning gas upgrades do go into these injecting factories. Just good note, that way we won't waste as much water vapor. It's a good thing. Alright, so upgrades and everything are done. So this may look a little funny here, mostly because I want to have the ability to pull mud out of here independently of the actual clay, so we could use it as a building block. One thing I didn't check is if we could throw this into a compacting drawer to make like packed mud or anything like that. And I don't see that. One thing is now there's actually a tab called Custom Compacting in here that actually gives you a little bit of indication on what you can actually put in here. It's, of course, not everything. It's custom, right? So it's, I think, stuff you have to add into a file somewhere. It looks like, so this is recipes by functional storage. So, you know, just something to think about. You can actually look in here and see that stuff. But yeah, packed mud's not one of them. So what our next step is here is getting our next set of machines, which is the enriching factory, because this is the final step of the process where we enrich the mud to become clay, and then that should go into a new drawer. What we could do if we really wanted to is just like set up modular routers instead to mimic a lot of like, or to just kind of get rid of a lot of this crap, but we're not going to do that because we're already too far into this, and Powerware's wrench does not work. Let's grab a normal wrench. Oh, okay. So it's just not working because it's like an independent one where it's probably got different settings. All right, so let's get this configured. So input, output, auto eject. Perfect. That's all we need to do. There's nothing really specific with this machine. So now we just grab a configuration card, do this, and just carry that across. This has a pusher upgrade in it, by the way, already. So it should push to this machine when it needs to. I also completely keep forgetting auto sort. Dang it. One of these days, I will remember auto sort. I will someday. Just not today. All right, so we'll then also get a functional storage compacting, a simple compacting drawer, because we don't need anything excessive. And that should allow for us to get done with this whole system, I hope, once we get power, which is something I'm going to do off camera. All right, so I made an oopsie, and we're actually here to resolve that real quick. These pipes don't do anything because I need something to pipe out of this, and then pipe push into this, and then push out there. So yeah, I done goofed. And we're gonna solve that real quick by simply doing some modular routers. So, is we could actually probably place this down here, in all honesty, and kind of just send it around. So let's do that. Let's disable that sand buffer there. And then let's go, so we want to pull from machine. Let's see, can I actually do that with this? Will it not let me pull from this? Do I not have the ability? Okay, hold on. How does this work? Okay, so it doesn't work like the way I'm thinking. Do we have anything that would actually allow for me to pull from a distance? I thought that would allow me to pull from a distance, but apparently it does not. Only senders allow for you to push from a distance. So, we do have a distributor module, which isn't really exactly what I need, but let's try something. Let's just look at the upgrade itself. So transfer into router, round robin. So if I did... Can I just not? Or is that what's happening? Okay, that's what's happening. It's being, like, weird. But yeah, we want to basically pull from all of these. But yeah, like, the front face is, like, acting strange. I'm not 100% sure what's happening there. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Alright, no idea. So then that way, we'd want to get some stack upgrade modules. So then we're going to just want to send that to this. But it's only pulling one at a time. Which is not what I want. Stack. These ones, the stack augments. Okay. And we could actually get some speed upgrades. Okay, and then let's go for more stack up augments here. Got like a laser show going on, and I love it. So that should be going pretty darn quick. It's really not going to be easy to disguise this, by the way. Like, with all the lasers that are happening. But can we do any more stack augments than that? Can we put more? Okay, so 6 is the maximum. And then we've already put all the maximum speed upgrades in here. So there is a mimic upgrade for modular routers. Let's see, this thing right here. But what do you do with this? I'm not actually 100% sure. Do I have the book for modular routers in here? Let me find that real quick. Okay, I found the right thing. It's called a camouflage upgrade. And then you just have to shift right click on whatever block you want it to be camouflaged as. And it'll change it. So for example, stone. So now it looks like a piece of stone. Of course, the lasers kind of give it away a little bit, I would say. But that is definitely working. And then what we could do is we can just do another modular router. Or we could just straight up put pipes back. Doesn't really matter to me. But we're going to pull out of this. Oh, yeah, we need to disable the pipe in the back. Okay. So we'd want to pull from there. And we're going to do stack and speed upgrades. So we want to get 2 more of these. So stack augment. And then we'll just want to send. Actually, we probably want a distributor module again, right? Because we want to distribute this among several different blocks. That's the point of this distributor module. But the name is kind of deceiving because the fact that you can pull and push with it, you're distributing, but you're also receiving. That's kind of weird. So these are actually block specific, and I forget that you can't just augment them. So let's take this out for a second. Okay. And that way it's going to be pushing on the down direction. Right? And then we're also going to want to get some stack upgrades here. So we just got a little laser show going on. And if we wanted to move this, we could genuinely just pick this whole thing up and move it. We don't need to do what we're doing here. So I could just set this back here for right now. And it would probably be less of a laser show than what we have. Because there's no way we're camouflaging this, right? Like, genuinely, while it looks cool that it's camouflaged, it's pretty obvious that there's a modular router there. Okay? And we'll just pull the camouflage upgrade out of here. So that should be good. We have everything running. I've had a little bit of hiccups here. So I have to remember how modular routers work sometimes. There's a few quirks and stuff with modular routers, but overall, definitely makes this look a little bit better because we don't have all the pipes running in and out of stuff. We still have the pipes up here, but that's okay. So why are you not outputting on the top? Oh, hold on. Hold up. We need to put a clay ball in here first. So let me get that done, and then this should work properly without accidentally compacting the clay further than it needs to go. Okay, and then now we've got the clay ball. We should be able to put this back, and we are now getting a whole bunch of goodies. Let's go upstairs to the storage area. I don't have clay set up, right? I hope not. I do, so let's take this out. Okay. And let's get this cleared. Cleared. Unlock it. Make sure there's no upgrades. Punch it one more time. And this will just be an oak drawer that we can use whenever we need it. Okay, so let's get this attached. Go back downstairs and lock in this and that. And that should add those to our system. And then we're going to go back up top, which we're just going to slash home here real quick. And that should be clay, completely and utterly automated. Perfect. Perfect. So now, of course, we can do anything we need to, which is basically just automating this to get terracotta. And then that should allow for us to start getting all of the different kinds of terracotta we need. Brown, yellow, all that fun stuff. So we could look at yellow. We should now be able to craft this, which we just say 256. We should be able to get that much. And then, of course, if we wanted yellow concrete, this is a little bit of a different system. Actually, we're out of sand. We are completely out of sand. I think this system is basically taken over our sand production, right? And this is like still locked up because technically we're not generating sand because it's all locked. Well, actually, it shouldn't be locked, right? Did I connect all these together or something? No? Do I need to update it? Okay, because we are doing something somewhere. I'm kind of forgetting what we did. Because this should be a pusher, and it is not pushing... Oh, it's because this needs to push east. That's why. What in the world? I guess that's probably been broken for a long time now, and I just now realized it. Same thing here, right? This should be pushing east to then make gravel. And this one should, of course, be pushing... Well, actually, this one doesn't need to push, right? Because that automatically pulls. Okay, so that's fixed. Apparently, that's an issue that I did not know we were having. Let's grab some stone. Okay. Well, hey, we've diagnosed that. And I need to do one thing before we wrap this really up. Is we actually need to do an inventory checker on this clay. And mostly because if we keep going the way we're going, with using all of the sand, it's going to cause a problem. So let's inventory checker. We're going to do the actual full clay. So this should be slot 1, I believe. And if we say 2000, we should have a redstone signal here. Because this is slot 0, by the way, and this is slot 1. So if we actually change this to slot 0, no redstone signal because it's not the right item. So there we go. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to replace this with laser node. And so laser node there. Redstone card. We're actually going to need one more redstone card. Because we're going to basically shut off the modular router that's actually coordinating, pushing up into these machines here. So let's actually go back downstairs. Because I kind of forgot about this. You have cobblestone in you. Why do you have cobblestone? I wonder if it's because you're trying to... Yeah, it's because you're trying to pull, and you're just getting random crap from the system pushed into you. Okay. That's my bad on that one, too. Alright, so you are the one that is pushing the mud into the mud drawer. You're the one pushing into the everything else. So let's actually move this. So I'm curious, could we just do, instead of modular routers, just do this? And then just have this on redstone low? Because now it shouldn't be operating. So the only issue I see is this. Which actually we really don't need a puller upgrade or a pusher upgrade in there, right? Because everything is controlled by the modular routers. So once we say, hey, I only want probably 15,000 clay in here. So this should shut the entire thing off and actually start making mud, which is still using our sand. So we need to do another modular router that actually prevents that from doing that. Or another inventory checker, my apologies. So we need to get back here. Let's see. Okay. Entangled. I was just trying to see if we had anything in our system with entangled. Okay, so what we should be able to do here is potentially get an entangled binder down here to do an inventory checker into that modular router. It's a little bit excessive, but hey, that's okay. All right, so mud. And then inventory checker. So we only want, I would say, probably around 5,000 mud. And then it should send a signal into this, which we're going to say you need to shut off on a low signal. So once this gets the correct amount of mud, which is 5,000, it'll shut this off. It won't shut the machines off. So until the machines are full, like at capacity, then it'll shut everything down, basically. So we'll have a buffer in a sense. And then also we want to... that might be the only issue I see. Is that this is going to push into this still. Because input matters, but output here, it always will auto-output. So I'm kind of curious, if we change this to auto-eject off, it should still work normally until it basically gets to the point of being a full drawer, and that full drawer will not, or the modular router will not pull out of it and push back in. So if we set this to 1,000, so this should shut everything off, including this one, so you can see that that's working. And so now we'll just need to get more sand, which will take some time. I don't really care too much about sand. The only thing we'll need it for is concrete, of course. But that should be a completed system. So we're going to say 5,000. And we're going to let that run. All right, so real quick, before we wrap this up, I wanted to mention I've changed up the bottom failsafe a little bit. Where the modular router, of course, is still turned off with 5,000 mud, but I've added a cable and an inverted toggle bus here, which just allows for us to say, hey, redstone signal, turn the interface off. If there's no redstone signal, turn the interface on. It allows sand to flow. If this was the normal toggle bus, of course, that would be the exact opposite, where if there's a redstone signal, this will be turned on, and if there is no redstone signal, it'll be turned off. So we wanted to make sure we inverted that so we don't have sand constantly flowing into these, which should allow for us to save a little bit of sand, which means that there won't be too much backlog in here, but I couldn't care. As I was changing that, by the way, I let a lot of mud flow in. That's not a problem, but we are definitely going to need to get some sort of better sand production in the future, just in case, honestly. But right now, I'm not too worried about that. So the failsafe is working. It's good. We are just, of course, using laser IO redstone cards. The output cards are just output strong. And then, of course, the input card is just a normal input. And, of course, that carries over to this modular router. I probably could have just done this with one laser node here, but I just decided why not put two, because I didn't feel like moving the other thing around. I am going to look at maybe potentially increasing our sand production. But for right now, we basically have a complete system. It doesn't look too bad. But we also have mud production, which, of course, packed mud is an option we have. It's a little bit drier of a texture. I can actually see us maybe using that for the beehive. But yeah, so we've solved some issues. We've got clay production going. I think sooner or later we also need to get obsidian production going, but we haven't done that yet. And maybe we'll do that in the future. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a fantastic episode. Well, and it's also been the first episode I've recorded in over a week. And yeah, thank you. Stay awesome. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.